Guys, welcome to another LivinginSAtv video. David Nkululeko here, guys, and today we are going to take Nkululeko inside of Steyn City, guys. So Nkululeko, what do you think about this, brother? Any expectations?
Yeah, I think I want to see how massive the space is. I mean, I've been looking at you, and you know that I've been trying and saying to you, hey, no, go do it, David. You are a master, with this. But today you said, no, we are doing this thing, together. So I'm very much, interested in really seeing how massive, the space is, because looking at a video and actually being there in person, I believe it will give a different perspective. So I'm very much looking forward to see how far they've gone, because I mean this is such an amazing, it's a massive, I mean top 10 is it estates in the world?
In the world, yeah.
So
mega projects
in the world. So you can imagine how many billions actually have been invested, and the value that has been created in this place. So I think for me it's just to be able to immerse myself with an environment. I'm very much interested in looking at the biodiversity as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing all those things. That is my interest. Yeah, I think after we've done the tour, I think I'll be able then to give my perspective. But those are things that I'm looking forward to.
So don't forget to share, subscribe, destroy that like button. Stay tuned, guys. Okay, let's do this. I actually like this new statue that they have here. Okay, we're gonna start now. You guys know already the city center. So seems like it will be finished in the next 2.5 years, 2 years and a half. This looks like a modern Italian villa. Just want us to go through this to the restaurant, because this will be different, because we always take the same route. Oh my god, this is so calm. Look at this, looks like
This is beautiful.
a canvas. Looks like a picture out of nowhere.
Look how you mirror this and this.
Sure, it looks like a mirror. Then this side. "300 meters. So there is the heliport, yeah. Okay, just a curious detail right here. And you got a beautiful view while drinking water. Yo, this is amazing. We came all the way from the city. We went around to get here. They have 40 something kilometers of land, of pathwalks. Just crazy. Brother, you got a great view here, eh? Shit, this is alone as like the thumbnail for the video. So this is the new development, the squash courts. So look at this. Fantastic. Auto in General. If you guys don't know, Auto in General is actually one of the main businesses of those Steyn. Okay, so this is the bar area. I'm not sure, I think that's the spa that they are building now. That's the gym and the souvenir shop and then the restaurant. Okay, look at this. Sorry, brother. Kulek will give his opinion at the end of the video. So, go there and then comes all the way here. So that's where we're going now. Show you guys another view. So look at this. Something like out of Sun City, you know what I mean? They did it so well, man. It's just what a perfection on the architecture. Let's go back now because yo, this view is like yo, the mastery, architectural mastery here is just, wow, what an anthem. Alright guys, I just forgot to mention this used to be an old quarry, so this is where the Steyn City started, on this old quarry, and look what you guys can do with the old abandoned quarry. This was able to be constructed. How beautiful is this? Imagine you just put yourself and just go and swim, you know? Imagine the experience. Yo, this is just beautiful. Perfect. Okay, we're going there now to show you guys an amazing close-up of the hall, of the mansion, of the palace. Here. Okay, on this side here of Steyn City, I actually only saw this today. We got all these type of townhouses. Look what it's coming, look what it's coming, look what it's coming. I'm gonna do this very slowly. Ew. It's beautiful. Yes. Look at this sun. Can't even fit them inside of the phone. Just quickly, just a view from here. You see, everything is like a kingdom. It's like a kingdom. Everything, you see the palace. Oh, this house is interesting. So you can see it's building. Oh, is it? It's very modern, the houses. Splendid. I think I haven't seen this side. Just kidding. Brother, look at this. From here we can see city center. You can see the restaurant there, golf course, the Steyn Palace on that side. Huge, huge, huge. Kind of far from the entrance now. Okay, by the way, beautiful house there. Then that's the bridge. We'll go there later with a caddy. That's the view all the way. Yes, pity that we have some trees in front, but yeah, it was a pretty good idea. That's a lot of construction. And also simple houses. I think you got a house for every taste. 31 Oak Lane. Nice and fresh at least. Elegant this one. Okay, so right now. It's gonna be a huge one. Interesting this one. You can see, brother, that is going very nice. Before we forget, just go around. I think this is a beautiful touch here. The mosaic is spectacular. Oh, you guys know what this is? Okay, so this is what we have inside here. Oh, poor thing. Is the leg broken? Look at this. Can you see from there? Look at that, or that road there. Look at that, look at that. See it from here, see it from here, see it from here. Crazy, man, look at that. Okay, let's see the upper part. Ah, yeah. Now we will use that one. Okay, but don't tell anything to anyone what we're gonna do. I know. So this is where they treat basically the horses. You can see there is a beautiful corridor, and yeah, this is what it is. So buon anno, Johnny. Good, man. Guys, have any horsey here at the moment?
Go that side if you need horses.
Oh, one is coming. That's perfect. Thanks, man. So one above, Johnny. Oh, you go. Oh, my beautiful little thingy. Hello. Hello. Look at you. Look at you. Look at this giant little. Oh, he's so cute. Look at my little beautiful thingy. Huh? Look at this. Oh, I just want some head rubs. Thank you, my man. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Sure. That's it, we're done.
2 cents because it's not going to be a much long. Or you want just meat?
Okay, guys, I want to give you guys a thing here. Look at the distance. It's 10 minutes all the way from the city center all the way to here, guys. Driving a car, not walking. So the other horse, he was a sweetie pie, eh? Very much, eh? Very nice. So this is how much land are still here to develop. Incredible. Wait, I haven't seen that before. Wait. Oh, that's probably not part of Steyn City, I think. I'm not sure. Need to find out. So brother, tell us that again, so how tough this thing is.
It's tough. This thing can come through your windscreen, you know, if you were to hit it full speed.
Yeah.
It is so hard.
So the guinea fowl, what's the name in Zulu?
Impangela.
Impangela. Yo, cannonball. Steyn City School. We promise you guys we're gonna try to give you guys a tour of the school, because this school looks really, really advanced. We like to see if it's at the same level of Centennial schools. It's a beautiful place, eh?
Hi, I'm Will from Steyn City. That's also my email address, will@Steyn City. So I am a sales agent here at Steyn City, and I also work with Pam Golding Properties. Today I'm just going to give you a bit of a behind the scenes tour. I always say a lot of the beauty of Steyn City can't actually be seen from the road. So we're going to hop on the golf cart and, you know, just see some of the greenery, the lakes, and some of the common areas that we have here in Steyn City.
How's it? Journey.
So,
So what are we doing now?
So right now we're just on a path that goes between city center and our 300-meter lagoon. So as you can see, lots of waterways, constantly maintained, really, really nice park areas out here. So when we go around, you're going to have quite a nice view of city center and also the lagoon just from the other side.
That's the helipad there.
Yeah, you've got the heliport there, and then over there we've got the farmhouse restaurant.
Okay,
Yeah, so that's one of 6 restaurants we have currently operational in Steyn City. Sorry, in some sections with this bigger golf cart I'm going to have to go a bit slower just because the corners are a bit tight. So that's quite a nice view that you get of the city center as well as the lagoon. I don't know if you want me to hold it up for you, if you can see nicely. You're good, yeah?
Right. Okay,
Oh.
right. 300 meters.
Yeah, so now we're behind the braai areas over here. And then the restaurant here, and you'll see we're going to come past the paddle tennis courts as well.
The latest edition.
Yeah. Very popular edition for sure.
This is the beauty of Steyn City, the fact that we can do this type of stuff inside of a caddy.
Yeah, exactly. I think having a golf cart in this estate is definitely a win. Definitely. Ooh, tight one.
Oh, there you go. It's a big cart.
Yeah.
Caddy, I mean. But like the foliage, you know, looks wild.
Yeah, and I think it's only rained twice so far, so I think once we get some proper rain, it gets really nice and green and thick all throughout Steyn City. And even like what we're driving past now, there's a lot of your running track and also next to a lot of the mountain bike track as well, so you have a lot of scenery throughout.
all these ponds around here also.
Yes.
Incredible.
Lots of little streams and dams and rivers and that. And as you can see, these street lights here. You see we've got these sort of half-size street lights. That's so that these paths are lit up at night as well. Obviously, Johannesburg, the one thing you have to address when you want a luxury estate is security. And the beauty is here, if you want to take a run in the middle of the night, you can, without having to worry about anything, and the pathway is lit up as well.
With 24/7. And
Yeah.
tell us, Willem, in terms of art,
Yeah.
do you also have a lot of art displays around Steyn City?
Yeah, and that's actually part of what we're going to see. So again, a lot of stuff you can't see from the road when you're in a car. We're going to see a lot of artworks as we drive along. First of which would be this here. We've got this really nice mosaic under the bridge. So you see it's on both sides. With the little seated area here as well. Very cool artwork.
Imagine walking here every damn day.
Yeah, you could probably do a new walk every day for a year.
Biodiversity initiatives, do you guys have anything?
Yeah, so I mean, one of the main things about Steyn City is only indigenous trees and plants allowed. We do have a nursery as well, and the estate has planted over 1 million trees at this point, and I mean, the estate isn't even complete yet. So everything you'll see will be indigenous trees. It offers like a really different look. A lot of estates, you know, they like to line their main roads with like palm trees, or you know, that gives a nice aesthetic. But the cool thing I think about Steyn City is everything's indigenous, and it gives a proper feel of where we are, you know.
Those small little, what do you call it, bridges and stuff.
Yes, little bridges that cross over here. So whether you're taking a walk or going for a run, it's like really, really nice and scenic. And if you suffer while you're running like I do, then it's actually quite nice.
What sort of typical clients that qualify as Steyn City?
It's diverse. I mean, there's such a wide range of clients. I would say it's a discerning client that knows what they want. They want the exclusivity. They want the privacy, whether that's an apartment or a house or whatever the case may be. We understand our pricing is above, you know, most places in Joburg and maybe even the country, but I mean, it's unashamed luxury that you have here. It's that's what they want, you know. They want an added experience. And here we're not only selling you a property, but what's outside of that property, the lifestyle.
Yes.
So the paths that we're on, all the extra amenities that you have, retail, school, I mean, there's tons of stuff. And people want that all within one area under the same security without having to leave, you know. So you pay for that privilege, and it is a privilege, you know, and people are aware of that, and that's why they're willing to pay a premium.
Would you say the residents predominated by the locals, or
Yeah, definitely.
is it enough scale in terms of the number of international that are buying?
Yeah, still definitely a majority local. But I think the one difference here is the international interest is quite strong. So for a while there was a lot of construction, you know, people weren't sure.
Yes.
Obviously there was always a vision of what Steyn City would be. But I think now we're at a really nice sort of tipping point where the things on that original brochure, you know, there's going to be this, there's going to be a school, a heliport, like a lot of that stuff is either already in or coming soon. So it's a very nice time now in the estate where people can physically see, you know, everything that it promised to be.
I know, guys, with your building, with your analysis of high tape, is it new money or old money, or is it balance?
It's a mix. It's a mix. Yeah. definitely a mix of both new and old money here. Ultimately, you know, people that want something different, something that's not available on the market, actually in the country, you know. You know, you always get a little bit of negativity around, you know, luxury and high prices and that kind of thing, but you know, as a country moving forward, you want to have a luxury product that can compare with the rest of the world and maybe even surpass in a lot of instances. So this is the first and only of its kind in the country, and it's been ranked as one of the top 10 luxury lifestyle estates in the world, and it's not even complete, you know. And I think it's a nice endorsement for South Africa as well to have something like this. It just helps interest in the country, shows that we're moving forward in a lot of ways. It's not perfect, but you know, we need to have these kinds of things as well.
And then I know it's one is pushing it, you know, a bit far, but have you analyzed the industries or the people that buy here, the sectors that normally they make their money from?
Again, because it's such a big mix of people, it's a bit of everything, right?
Okay.
So we've got guys in all sorts of industries, you know, tech, farming, mining. I mean, there's such a wide range. There's pretty much every industry you can think of.
Yes.
And I think that also makes it quite nice, is how diverse it is. So it's not that we just have one specific sector that's dominating, you know. There's a bit of everything. There's artists, there's engineers, there's athletes, there's entertainers. Yeah, there's all sorts.
And tell us another thing, how many residents do you have at the moment?
Oh, I'd have to double check that stat for you, but
Because last time was like 2,000.
no, not quite. I know that the outlook is to eventually have about 4,500 households. So obviously it would be more people than that, but I think at the moment, and obviously stand corrected, I think we're looking at about 600-700 households. So yeah, it's still pretty early days in the entire growth of the estate, you know.
And tell us one thing, in terms of levies, for people to have an idea, how much is our levies per month?
Yeah, so I mean, right now we are looking at 5,500 Rand for your levies for freestanding properties. Your sectional title properties have different calculations based on the type of property it is and all of that, but I suppose sort of the figure to throw out there, 5,500 for a house. Yeah.
And now, in terms, how many kilometers of pathways do we have inside of Steyn City?
So these pathways that we're on now, we've got 42 kilometers of this. So it's pretty much from Steyn City to Tambo worth of pathways. So there's a hell of a lot. That's why I wasn't exaggerating when I was saying you can go on a different walk every day for a year if you wanted to. You know, you can drive your car to another part of the estate and do your walk. Yeah, there's 50 kilometers of mountain bike track.
Sure.
Yeah. And so you can see the role that our greenery plays in the estate. Yes, exactly. You catch glimpses of some of these really nice homes, but it still offers enough privacy for the people that do live in those homes as well. And like I say, once we get a bit of proper rain, it's going to be even thicker with the greenery.
Would you say you've got a bit of speculative buyers, or people buy actually to stay in these houses?
Yeah, so we've got all sorts, right? We've got people buying as investments, but definitely a lot of people buying to live, and some people, you know, they maybe invest in an apartment in the beginning and then look to eventually rent it out, or while they're busy building somewhere else. So there's quite a nice mix of types of buyers, as it were. I just want to see if we can get up here. It's normally a bit easier in the smaller cart. Let's see. So if we can fit.
And will give us an idea in terms of freestanding prices for these stands.
Yeah.
Just to have an idea, because I remember last time we were here, they will go, depends on the section of land, right? But they can go up to 3 million, 2.8 million.
What's that for stands?
Yes.
Yeah, so we've got stands starting at 2.8 million. That'll get you about 500 square meters. All the way up to 19 million, you know, for a 4,000 square meter piece of land. And you know, a lot of things inform the pricing, the location, the view, you know, does it have water near it, is it near the golf course, you know, there's a whole bunch of things, the orientation, a lot of stuff factors in. And as you can see, constantly maintained. They definitely try and make sure everything is always looking good, you know. Okay, this is a particularly tight turn. Yeah.
Do you know a beautiful place in the estate is the one that goes below the bridge?
Below the bridge.
Below the bridge. That bridge that passes when you go on the way to the stables.
Oh, okay, by the river, by the Yukske River there.
Yeah, here. Tell us about the bus system inside of Steyn City.
I see. So we do have a shuttle system here. So mostly used by the domestic workers and also kids, because it is such a big estate, right? Walking around would be quite a mission. But basically they give the schedule, and then you'll know when you need to be at a respective stop, and then it'll take you around to the next one.
They will show up, what, 10 minutes, half an hour?
At the moment, because you know the estate isn't fully occupied, I think it's probably running about every sort of 30 to 40 minutes or so. But they do put out a schedule, and then that adjusts, you know, depending on demand and occupancy within the estate. Just want to go across here. One of the areas is I have to go through the clubhouse, sort of, then to get onto the pathways along the river.
Yes, you're
So
right.
that's where we're headed now.
You ready to see Steyn's fellas? Now.
So this comes to the clubhouse.
That's the souvenir shop.
Is it? So you've been here before, eh?
Yep.
So the gym and clubhouse and all of that.
There you go. Brother, get ready for the most beautiful journey here in Steyn City. Will, tell us one thing. In terms of selling the country,
Yeah.
sell the best we have. Do we still have a long way to go regarding that or not?
Yeah, I think there's still a long way to go, but it seems to be trending positive. And I mean, that's ultimately all you can hope for, is a positive trend, and hope it carries on.
Sure, this is stunning. So, Will, another question is, when people call it Steyn City, right?
Yeah.
People tend to think that this is short compared to a city. So tell us in terms of size, what could you compare this with?
It's hard to compare. It's 2,000 acres, so it is a very large property. It's definitely more than your average estate, you know.
Yes.
I would say it's probably about 5-6 times more than some really big golf estates, which is what makes it more like a town than a city, especially when you try and look forward and think of what it would be like when it's completed. Definitely much more than just an estate.
In terms of location, people always say that this is a deep slot, it's a mid-range.
Yeah.
What is exactly the location? It's in the midst of all these
Yeah.
places?
Yeah, so basically, I suppose for someone who isn't too familiar, the easiest way to describe it would be between Fourways and Lanseria. So I suppose the legal description would be that it's part of Midrand. But yeah, usually between Foyers and Lanseria kind of describes it quite nicely in terms of where it is, because it is quite a big chunk of land between those two.
And tell us one thing, what makes Steyn City so exclusive? Tell us what are the main amenities?
Like I alluded to earlier, there's so many, you know. You kind of start thinking on one train of thought, and then you all of a sudden remember there's a whole bunch of other amenities. So I mean, like there's a school grade 000 to matric. We have a hotel opening at the end of the month, which will be operated by the Saxon, so that's also 5-star.
Wow.
With co-working facilities and meeting rooms, and we're going to have conferencing facilities. We have a laundry now with dry cleaning, and they'll do linen as well. 2 gyms plus an outdoor gym along the running path. World-class golf, which we are kind of driving past now, with a clubhouse, with a pro shop, you know, selling really high-end golf apparel, including Steyn City branded stuff. Heliport with meeting rooms there. 6 restaurants, but 10 eating options, including like Paul's ice cream and some coffee shops and that. Yeah, there's a bunch. There's a whole bunch of amenities, and that's just what they have so far. And currently they're in the process of building basketball courts as well, and bowls green, something else that's also coming fairly soon.
And tell us another thing, Will, in terms of the Steyn City School.
Yeah.
People are always very curious about the school.
Yeah.
Tell us about the school.
So I mean, I don't have all the detail on the school. I'm mostly involved with sales. I think the school would need to be contacted directly to really get the detail there. But what I can say is very, very high-end school, lots of facilities, sports, music, you know, they learn sort of high-end things as well, robotics, AI, you know, those are kinds of things that you can have in your curriculum if you want. Yeah, and just access to everything that the estate has to offer.
Because it's also a very free environment for children, because you see them like playing golf, like 10 years old, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You see the kids like going in groups, you know, just ride their bikes.
Yeah.
So there is an adventure.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I get that comment a lot from residents. You know, that they're happy that their kids can live how we lived when we were kids, you know. When we were kids, you go out with your friends on your bike, and all you had to worry about was that you make your curfew, you get home on time.
Yes.
And now the kids that live here, it's the same thing, you know, just make sure that they're home on time. It's not a question of are they safe, you know, it's not an issue around security, which is always nice.
I think this is a beautiful detail. I think last time I was here I saw a big lizard.
Yeah. There's a couple of those. There's a couple of those around.
So you basically can do everything in Steyn City without leaving the premises, basically, without leaving the city itself.
Yeah, exactly. That is the point, is to be able to have access to all of that without having to leave. Oh, I suppose we can do this one. I thought it was closed. Yeah, a bit more rain and this will be going nicely.
And we got the same problem every year. So. This is the part that you don't have access to the road. Wait. Traffic jams. What is that?
So as you can see, we've got like our mountain bike trails that go all the way in there, and this is actually a really nice part of the estate.
Wow.
You see springbok and all of that quite often when you're out here as well.
Imagine bringing rhinos and wildebeests.
So it is coexistence between people and nature.
Yeah.
Danny.
So So that's quite a nice view of the golf course
This
and
is the
that
part
as
we need
well.
to have about Steyn City because people don't understand. It's about going around, see the experience.
Yeah.
So for you that spends a lot of time in Steyn City, well, what is your favorite thing about Steyn City?
Oh, it's hard to pin it on one thing, but I mean, I love to train and I love to be outside, and it's really cool that I can do that here as well. So, you know, they encourage us to also, you know, get to know the estate because we're obviously selling the properties and we need to be able to describe the stuff to people. So I have my bike parked here at city center. So sometimes after work, get changed, hop on the bike and come out here, which is really nice.
You
Or
need to invite us for one of those.
no, definitely,
We'll go
yeah.
definitely with you.
Or even if I just feel like going for a run, or if that's what's on the program, I can choose. You know, if I need to run 5Ks, I can see, okay, maybe let's do one with more hills, or let's do a flatter one, or maybe I want to stay out the sun, go where there's lots of trees. Like there's so many options. Or I would say actually maybe if I had to pick something that's really cool is I never used to play golf. And then I learned very quickly that when you are in Steyn City, if you want to be a part of conversations, you don't have to be good at golf, but you need to know about golf. And yeah, it's been an awful but really good experience because golf is very hard to get good at, but it's been fun, and this is where I learned how to play golf. And I can't think of like a better environment to do that, because you know that takes us back to more things, as we have pros here who can teach you, and we've got a driving range, you know, so you can do your golf lessons here at Steyn City as well. So this is a cool view. You see these flat ones? This is the golf paths, but then the cobbled ones are the common paths that we can drive on and walk on. Yes. So the golf cart paths, the golf paths, there's certain times that people can't be on them because they're reserved for people playing golf.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of other pathways you can use.
It's a lot of activity.
Tons of activity.
So after buying a fuel stand here, how long are you given to start building?
So depending on where you are,
Yes.
I would say sort of the general answer to that would be you have 12 months to begin and then 18 months to complete. And I say that with an asterisk because there are a few outliers that don't adhere to that exact same timeline, but I would say probably about 80%, 90% of the properties, that's the timeline that you're looking at. So this is also a really nice neighborhood called Fairways Valley. Stunning homes here.
So tell us one thing in terms of what is the chicest neighborhood inside of Steyn City, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, but the thing I suppose, which is also I guess part of the beauty of Steyn City, is there isn't really one standout neighborhood, because all the neighborhoods have varying stand sizes. So you're always going to get in each neighborhood like a really sort of standout home sprinkled in amongst everything else, you know. So it kind of evens it out, where whichever neighborhood you go to, you're going to see something world class.
Let's do it. Didn't know this works. So I thought that I read this whole place. I know what I am.
Yes, yeah, we came from the other side.
So the palace is on that side, okay? I
Yeah,
see.
down there.
It's a very interesting structure, this house. It's like
This is a house, yeah.
It's like a pod of some sort. So Willem, another thing, what type of events are hosted at Steyn City?
There's lots. I mean, there's corporate events, golf events, and with Steyn City also being a luxury brand in and of itself, a lot of other luxury brands like to host their events here. So for instance, top of mind comes Aston Martin was here last year in November, showcasing their new SUV. You know, so then they'll park it and dress it and showcase within Steyn City. So yeah, there's lots of different types of events that happen here, and even sporting events. We have triathlons, the 94.7 mountain bike race, other mountain bike races, yeah, a whole bunch of different types of things that happen here. Yeah, so this is just kind of going alongside one of the holes. This is the second hole, with a nice little dam alongside it as well.
And tell us one thing, in terms of, I know it's a complicated question to reply to, but in terms of employment, do you have any idea how many jobs were created since Steyn City started? Domestic workers, construction?
Yeah, no, I actually don't have that stat. It's an interesting stat though. I should do some research and see if there's someone who can actually answer that. But I would imagine quite a lot if you just think of the construction, and like you're saying, everyone who works here, who, you know, does the maintenance of everything. I would think quite a few jobs have been created as a result.
They are well paid, you know, even for gardeners, maids, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine so. I would expect so. Oof, this is a bit of a steep one, yeah.
Look at this. Beautiful, right? Look at that. That's a beautiful picture. Really big.
So Will, what is the best view in a whole estate for you?
Oh, another tough question. I think for like city center apartments, one of the best views you can get is either north looking over the lagoon, or even sort of there's a southern view where you can see out over towards Sandton, and that's a really nice view. Well, some of the houses that are up here, they look back at Palazzo Steyn and over the rivers and that. And even the ones that are there looking back this way, they look at all this greenery, the golf courses, the dams and that. So yeah, there's quite a few. There's quite a few.
What is the misconception in public that you have about Steyn City that you would like to address? Can you find it doesn't have to be intense stuff?
Oh, I think just that it's expensive for the sake of being expensive. I would say is probably the main misconception, and probably one which I held as well before really knowing, especially being a real estate agent, you know, wondering why are things so pricey, because I guess I didn't understand what it was at the time. I didn't know the scale. I didn't know everything that it offered, the lifestyle, the sizes. The apartments are all oversized. So when we say apartment, it might put some people off, but I think what they don't understand until they see it is that these are not just normal size apartments, and they're not normal spec apartments. So even the quality of things is a lot higher, you know. So just all those little added things, plus the lifestyle that factor into pricing. So I'd say, I think, yeah, people thinking that it's expensive just for the sake of it is maybe the main misconception.
So you got people working here that their specific function is just catching golf balls.
I don't know if that's their specific function, but
seems like
definitely on the golf course you have guys maintaining and making sure that it stays clean, and yeah, I would imagine one of the duties would be, you know, making sure that there's no debris or you know, golf stuff just laying around.
Okay.
So I know indeed it's a bit of a tough question as well.
Yeah.
But averagely from inquiry to closing the deal, what
Yeah.
sort of period, you know, from experience that has taken, you know, you to actually still say?
It varies, right? Because also there's so many different types of property. But I would say on average from when we first make contact, maybe about 6 months or so, because maybe they'll come the first time and see a specific property, and then they'll come again, maybe look at comparable properties, come again, get to know the estate, while we're narrowing down the properties that they have seen, and then we get into the sale process, and then that process takes 3-ish months.
I can imagine sometimes you're dealing with intermediaries as well. Before
Yeah.
some clients.
Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah. Sometimes even if it's even within a family, you know, one person will come see, then the rest will come, and so yeah, it's like you have to kind of be flexible and open to all of that. So that was like a little loop up there by the village.
Do you have street names here?
Sorry?
Do you have street names?
Yeah. There are street names. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what street are we in?
This one, I believe is Oak Lane, if I'm not mistaken.
Oak Lane.
There's Fairways Lane. We'll see now. I think Oak is up there actually. Village Lane. So Village Lane, and then Fairway Lane. Yeah.
So that's the bridge there that goes above the river?
Yeah, and that's where we're gonna go as we make our way back. Okay, have to make a bit of a wide turn, yeah. Just watch the bump.
Now we're gonna take the bike lane. So beautiful. Look at it. See this pathway. Everything is like centralized for the Steyn Palace, you know, in terms of view.
Yeah, that's pretty much in the middle. Like nice and high, and definitely like a statement, you know. So I'll just show you this part here, the skate park.
Yes, the skate park.
And a little playground as well. So a nice little skate park, and there's also some outdoor gym equipment at the bottom there. A skate park and a nice little playground area here. And then here's we've got a rubbish bin here.
Wait, let me just get this.
It's lovely.
It's really cool, yeah.
I actually have
Okay,
that's these, yeah.
let's go.
Oh, really? Oh, nice. And I mean, it's such a strange thing, right? Because obviously I'm here to sell property and that. And then I even listen to myself sometimes, like trying to explain to people, but then it sounds like I'm just selling, but I actually mean it. It's like, no, you don't understand. It's like, it's so cool here. Like it's other, like there's nothing like it in the country that I'm aware of. No.
People mention Val de Vie in the Western Cape. We haven't been there already.
I think that's probably the closest comparison. I haven't really done much of Val de Vie to really know, but comments from people who, and I mean we do have a lot of clients that have property in both. In terms of what you have access to and the quality of it, I think a lot of people have a preference towards Steyn City. Like one of our clients says yes, he can ride his mountain bike in Val de Vie, but he feels like the course here is more thought out. It's got technical bits if he wants to get technical. It's got simple areas if he wants to do that. So I think it's a preference thing. And I mean, some people just also love the Western Cape, you know, the wine country, and so it really depends on the person.
Another fun question. I saw I saw speed limit at 60 and there's a sign of a camera. But
Yeah.
who mans that? Because this is a private estate. So
Yeah.
how does the fine work?
So much like any other estate, if you're speeding in there, they're going to see you, you know.
Yes.
So even in the smaller estates, they're able to monitor that. Same thing here. We have a nerve center, which is basically an area that takes care of the security for the whole estate. They watch the cameras. We've got the guys also patrolling. So if you're speeding in any estate and they fine you, it's the same thing here.
Do you
Yeah.
think we can see all that or not?
No, the nerve center, no. No, unfortunately not. No.
Occupation. How far is the city center in terms of completion and occupation, total occupation at the moment?
So I think city center probably has about 2.5 years to go. Yeah, there's still a bunch that they're doing, but then we are in a phased approach releasing stands and apartments. There'll be a senior living center. That will be a phased approach for the next 2.5 years. Yeah. Yeah, and we're back at city center. And I mean, we went through quite a lot, but in honesty, we probably didn't even see half. Definitely comprehensive.
So where are we at the moment, Will?
So we are in the city center visitors basement parking. And this is where, let's say you live in the estate, but you don't live in city center. This is where you would park. And access the retail, our office, all of that.
Okay guys, we finished now the video. Brother, tell us, what it was this for you?
I think there's something that I had undermined. I remember when we started, we said we're going to be here for an hour or two.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible I'm telling you, it is impossible to tour Steyn City in 2 hours. It is a whole day.
Yeah. So
And I think even within that whole day, there's no way that you've covered all the parts.
yeah.
So for me, I was, you know, what I've seen, inside here. I know, guys, we give you a bit of perspective, in the video, but seeing it with a naked eye,
Yeah.
it is another experience.
Yeah.
I'm so amazed by the amount of value that has been created inside here. The amount of value and the variety in terms of the properties, the designs. This is definitely world class. Now I see why they are ranked in the top 10.
Yeah.
In the world.
Now that this video is out, guys, you guys also know that we are teaming up with the Red Bus to do, some tours with them, right? We're just chilling here, by the way, in front of the Steyn City offices. I think it will be interesting to do it here. We're going to try to speak with the CEO from Steyn City and bring the Red Bus here, because it will be so interesting to give the international audience or tourists that come to Johannesburg the access to Steyn City, right? I think it will be a marvelous idea. Kulek has been talking about. I think it's a marvelous idea that we can apply. It will be interesting also to build probably a hotel in Steyn City, because it is an international local tourism destination right here in Johannesburg. Because guys, especially if you like architecture, design, it's an amazing place to come, because every house that you see here is not the same as the last one. Everything is always like incredible. It's like there is a huge plan, a master plan for this. That's what I'm saying. This is the biggest mega project right now in South Africa.
Yes. I think for me, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I've sensed a bit of a race. I think there's a rush. I think people want to move in, their houses by December. I've, in one street, the amount of construction, and for me, what I've noticed is that the big bosses were around.
Yeah.
So you could see that people need to shake a leg.
Yeah.
So for me, I've seen that,
The urgency.
the sense of agency.
Yes.
They just want, to come. They just want to come in.
Yeah.
And as David, has said that we know the importance of being able to share what we see and what we've covered, with you guys. But the level of security as well, and it's understandable because as you can imagine, the amount of value and the people obviously that buys, in this space.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see that there's new money and old money, as well.
Yes.
So I think for me, and also, the inquiry that we've made with one of the estate agents is that there's a spread as well in terms of the sectors, because I think for me, I always get fascinated to say which industries, because for me it's one of the barometers as well.
Yes.
That you get to use to say which sectors are booming. In the country. I know tech, is booming, but I'm happy to hear that it is actually spread, across. So it's such an amazing thing, and for me, it disproves the notion that says the economy is not doing well at all.
Yeah. Look, it's a fascinating place, especially it's a socio-economic. It's a very interesting experience, I must say. Food is great, lagoon is beautiful, a lot of pathways, 42 kilometers for you guys to run, walk, whatever. You got places with anything around it, like ready to build. You got the equestrian estate, the clubhouse, the farmhouse, the helipad, no load shedding because they have their own supply, water abundant, because think about it, we have like a huge golf course, it must cost millions of rand a month just to maintain that, you know what I mean? Also love the beautiful business park that they have here around Steyn City. We got Hippo, Auto General, as you guys know, it's Mrs. Steyn's main businesses, international business and also local businesses here. So it's a beautiful, what do you call it?
The mixture,
the diversity. It's a city.
It's definitely a city.
It's another smart city.
Yes.
We have so many smart cities right now in Johannesburg.
Yes.
This is another one of them.
Yes.
Mind blowing.
And I think for me, the biodiversity.
Yeah.
I could see nature, and we were told obviously that they plant indigenous trees.
Yes.
So I could definitely see nature. So when you're here, even the guys, I don't work for them, but the kind of air you breathe, and it's fresh. It's because obviously of trees that get planted, shade. So it's such an amazing thing. And for me, I would definitely love this. You guys to also experience.
Correct. Yeah.
But we know obviously with the requirements that are needed inside here, to access the space it's not as easy as possible. And
Correct.
And for me, I definitely understand that, because it's important that the level of security must be at the level that justifies the amount that people pay here.
Correct.
Sure, brother. The stands, freehold stands, how much?
People,
they range from how much?
Sure, 2.8 million. I don't know if that is inter-level also, but I can tell you the properties next to the Steyn City Palace, those things could go all the way, 7-10 million easily, just to be able to be next to Steyn City Palace, because I think it's valued in 250 million. That's how big it is.
So if you buy a stand for about 7 to 8 million, it means the property you're building, it should be averagely how much?
I don't know.
Because I can imagine there's no way that you'll build a 7 million property in a 7 million stand. So it means you must add about 20 to 30 million
or even
on top
more,
of that,
or even more. And remember, 2.8 million only gives you access to 500 square meters. So 7 to 8 million gives you probably what? I don't know. 2 kilometers? I don't know. Think about it. If 2.8 million is 500 square meters.
That's amazing. Have you heard when we ask about the walkways? They said it's about what, 47 kilometers? 42 kilometers.
Yeah, but remember, you got nature, you got jungle gyms, you can go around the lagoon, you can ride your bike, your caddy, you got 2 types of ways for the caddy and for the bicycles. You got all the river, because you got the Yangtze River, I think, that flows through. You got all those bridges, and then you got all these hidden paths. children can play, ride their bikes, you know, come from school. It's such a beautiful, it's like an experience, you know, and money can buy this, and we have this in Johannesburg, and I think that's fantastic. Another thing that I want to mention is we're gonna try to speak with the Steyn City School to show you guys, because I think they are such in a high level, and you guys know we have visited already high learning institutions, and I think it will be interesting to show Steyn City and make a comparison, for example, to see if they are at the high level like Centennial schools, you know what I mean? I think it will be interesting. But again, guys, this was the video. I hope you guys like it, share, subscribe. I think Nukulego saw another amazing place. We'll bring other amazing videos and get out of Gauteng also, which will be cool. So we're looking forward to do that type of stuff. I think many things will change now for the future of the channel. So make sure you share, subscribe, destroy that like button, and we will see you in the next LivinginSAtv video. Okay guys, we done. We are out of Steyn City, guys. Remember the name.